What are we doing today?
No interviews, please.
Tell the fucking people what we're doing.
An interview, performance, live from the woods.
Are we really going to the woods?
I think so.
Hi, God. No, just kidding. We're going to Gurnerville today to do a platform called Live from the Woods. This is actually like towards my hometown, so it's gonna be kind of cool to go back up that way. Nobody goes to Gurnerville though. That's not, you don't go there.
Camera, but I'm gonna let AJ take it from here to tell you what his vision is, and I think you're gonna dig it. It's a cool idea.
Yeah. So first, let me ask you, like, what do you feel like playing? Like, what kind of song, or what do you think would work for the space?
This is all y'all stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I could run you through kind of the basic camera movements too. That might be helpful to like inform your decision.
Yeah, what's the flow?
So my basic idea, we have a camera on the gimbal over there, and I'm gonna start it out on the woods, like showing the scenery first.
Can we set the keys up and then we'll play a few things and whichever one feels good, that's the one we'll rock with.
For sure.
Yep.
Sounds good.
This is the first time we're doing this setup, but it's really dynamic. This is also where the interview will take place, and where I'll do the interview. And then the last part of the day is we'll go for a walk in the woods, have a little chat. That's it.
Let's do it.
That's it. First time I tried an edible was the first thing I ever did.
Oh man.
And then
I'm sorry for you.
why is that?
Edibles be extreme.
Edibles kick your ass.
Yeah, they do. And
And they only
then
kick you when you talk shit about them.
yeah.
You're like, this ain't it.
This ain't well.
Conversation, because I do usually talk to the artist a bit before we do the interview, and I'll let everybody eat, get acclimated. But I'm actually stoked that you said that, which is a huge reason why I'm stoked that you're here, because I genuinely have questions for you. Like, I really interpersonally want to know. And like I said too, like, I do a lot of research. I actually do a lot of research on fame itself. I've done a lot of research on idols. I would say, my time off of my phone, the internet is the same age as me, 30 years old. And the internet, how old is social media? It's not lived a full human lifespan, so we don't actually know the effect of it on a human. And to me, I think it's bad. And I think, it's good and bad, It gave a voice to the people.
It is.
But at the same time, like, there's so much other repercussions of that. But for me, the number one thing is people using a number to identify quality or bandwagoning. I'm really against bandwagoning. And it's not that I'm against it. I just think use your best judgment. And how do you identify what best judgment is if you're always waiting for someone else to tell you?
We went to Seattle, and I had a show, and I passed the mic around to local artists. We did a whole show, and I would hold the mic up, and no one would grab the mic to rap. Very few. At the end, one of the artists came up and said, "Man, you got more independent artists from here and here than ever. We never get together. There's like 15 of us. None of them grabbed the mic." And I'm like, why would someone do, that's your chance, right? And then one of the artists came up and said, "Man, out here, we're followers, not in a negative way, but we wait for someone to lead and show us the way. So seeing this was important." And that's the world. Like, some people, that's the reason we have programming, because some people don't want to choose their own song. That's too much. They just want, they just want to be led.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
If everybody was trying to lead, it would be chaos.
Exactly, and not everyone's cut out to be a leader. It's so fun. Like, right? I have such a sentiment about that, and also a believer in, lead by example.
And leadership is like, sometimes your leadership is you knowing when to follow, and everyone doesn't have that discernment. It's like if we came up here and you're like, "Okay, we're going to do this interview for a hike," and I'm like, "I'll lead the way." It's like, well, you've never been here. Exactly. Salary is the same way social media has metrics. Salary is their data point to say, "Oh, I've done more."
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't represent that. Someone may have 1 million followers and they can't do half of what a LaRussell or Tieta could do.
Exactly.
But that's what salary does. Like, same with titles and roles. Once you give it to someone and they can see it and they're able to compare it, you know, but naturally through comparison, we believe more is better in any capacity, right?
Can we get a little Jeopardy theme music?
Bench me if it's real. Lately I've been all in my feels. Go to sleep and wake up with the chills. How can I chill? Living with my daddy, pay the bills. Trying to find my way. Found my way.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you.
Of course. We know what you did.
George Bush hate black people.
You know
And then he's
why,
like,
though?
college dropout.
You know why though? He's at the point of comprehension where it's not negative attention.
No,
It's
just-
attention.
It's just attention.
It's attention.
All attention is good attention.
Whether someone's saying something good or bad about you, if they talking about you, they have to know you exist. We were outside yesterday and this guy came up. He was like, "Yo, you the fucking GOAT, right?" And I'm like, we talking and I'm like, "How you find my shit?" And he was like, that's exactly how he looked at me. He was like, "Nigga,
What do you mean?
you're you." Like, that was a crazy question for him. But for me, I'm still in like such a independent artist mindset. Like the little nigga, I'm like, how did you come across it? But for him, it's like, nigga, I can't even tell you how I came across
Right.
it.
'Cause I see
That's
You
how easy it
everywhere.
is to.
Right.
It's like, nigga, that's like coming across grass. What do you mean? The fuck? I don't know. And that's a beautiful thing. Like, he really was like, he wanted to say nigga. But he wasn't a nigga. Which was even crazier. He wasn't like, man.
He was Russian.
He was from somewhere that wasn't, you know,
Oh, God.
United States. And it's like, soon as he knew. That shit insane. I love rapping, but like I love the fact that everybody not here because I'm rapping. You know? Like if niggas only here because you dance, then you gotta dance the rest of your life. When you stop dancing, everybody disappear. You know? But it's like I'm gaining a base of people that's like they love rap, but some of them don't even love rap. They say it all the time.
Somebody might be like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't even really fuck with rap music like that. But like the gems that you be posting though, the life lessons you be talking about,
That's a
or
fire
like maybe
shot.
just the life experiences that you be talking about, it's like that's where I relate to.
Seattle was so fire because it was a lot of new people. Like, and they would tell me like, this. I came with the homie and this is my first time. This one dude said, "This is my first time hearing you. You the GOAT." No one calls a nigga the GOAT on the first one.
The first time.
And it's like, you know, how many shows have you seen that makes you want to tell somebody that shit?
Yeah. Ammunition. Drugs.
Drugs. I'm on drugs. Drugs. I'm on drugs. Drugs.
I'll make
drugs.
that beat in 2
Do a
seconds.
lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs.
Yeah, I give a lot of drugs. I give a lot of hugs. Drugs. Drugs. Come on,
Hugs.
kids. Drugs. Drugs.
Do
Say
it with me now.
Drugs. That's the funniest shit, though, because that's the state of society. Every nigga I know do drugs.
Even if it's not like,
I'm lying.
no, yes. Even if it's
But
not
a good
weed, like
majority.
pharmaceuticals are still drugs.
Every nigga I know do drugs.
Everybody on drugs.
My mom and my daddy on drugs.
On drugs. Heavy. Heavy
We
though.
all on drugs.
Everybody.
Damn.
You
Huh?
said Betty's?
On
That's a
God.
drug,
That's
nigga.
a drug.
You got allergies, fuck, nigga. My allergies be so bad, they be in the YouTube comments like, do something about that. They be sending me recommendations. A nigga sending me some bee pollen. That nigga said, let me take care of you. I said, wow.
Hey,
Look
did
out
it.
for a
That
nigga.
beat pollen does not work, bro.
It does not. It does not.
I tried it. I be trying it. And
I wonder.
They be like, you gotta have bee pollen from the area that you're from because that's what's in the air, and it's like,
Then
bitch,
you just
no.
like,
damn, let me tap in with my local bees then.
Shut the fuck
Yo,
up.
if you a
Scam,
local
though.
bee, if you a local bee, fuck with me.
I be trying to educate niggas, but part of me be like, I shouldn't even be saying nothing. Cause it's like, if you can't understand that, then you probably you're not gonna grasp nothing I'm catching.
Nah, I don't think that's true. Some people just like, you be
Nigga,
so deep in your bubble that you forgot to look up that and see
there's
that the
this
sky
clip
was there.
of Jay-Z going viral on Twitter, of him rapping like at this old venue called The Tunnel. And I have posted, and I was like, "This is content." You feel me? Like they was just documenting life then, and now he
Damn.
going viral again years now, and like Mally could find it, you know. And someone was like, "No, it's not."
What the fuck?
It's like that always like you always have that, and it's like, but it also makes me think, do they matter?
No. There's internet trolls whose sole purpose is to just troll people.
'Cause
Like,
they don't have nothing
he
to
know
do.
damn well that's content, but he like, no, it's not. What are you even talking? Right. There's some people who just never thought of it that way. And it's not that they don't want to think that way. It's just like their brain hasn't been opened
I wonder
up.
what is the resistance to content though? Like for artists, like what is that resistance to where niggas like it's just like niggas hate the fact that they have to share more art.
I mean-
which always existed, right? Like back then when they had a song, Michael Jackson would do TV shows and they
Yeah.
film it, and he would do music videos, and it's like, nigga, this is literally what you do. It's all art.
Last night, Mally said that he didn't like vlogging because he felt like when he turned on the camera, he was like, had to perform. And it'd be like, there's all of these things that go into content, and it's not real, but it's shit
Right.
that you like
And
put
you
on
know,
it.
You know, that's I've had to struggle with that too. But that's more you than the thing.
For sure.
You know, because it's like, if LeBron was scared to be on TV, then he wouldn't be able to hoop at the last. Like that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like it depends on the career you want to have. Like everything to me is optional. You don't have to do it. This is what I'm willing to do, but you don't have to do it. But everything that I'm willing to do, I make it fit into what I feel like. I really feel like what I'm doing is special, and I feel like documenting it is great for myself and the world.
Mm-hmm.
But even for me to be able to look back one day, like I just be moving, and you know, like I want to be able to look back one day and be like, man, I did my shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm okay with what you feel me? And I think that's worth documenting and sharing. It's like we got to see all the other content. Like we got to see niggas dying and all the other shit. I think it's okay for us to see.
And if you're not willing to do it, then you have to accept what you're giving up with it. If you're not willing to do that work, then you don't get what comes with doing that
And
work.
I think if you're not willing to do that, then supplement it for 2x or whatever you're willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to make content, then make sure whatever you are willing to do 3 times more, because the content would be your next X. But since you don't want to do that, make sure whatever you doing is 3 times more, because you have to supplement for your loss. But some niggas just take the loss and it's like, you're not gonna do nothing else.
Yeah.
Then like you have to do, if you're not gonna run that day, you gotta do, maybe you gotta lift, you know. But it's like you're not gonna do nothing else. You gotta do something.
Right.
And if you
ain't
don't
doing legs, you should be doing arms.
And if you don't do nothing, you're going to have that extra weight.
Right? Music is like building a body. And it's like, you don't want a big ass chest, you don't want big ass legs, you know, like you building a body. And make everything a little easier for me is always like, do you want to be successful? And my answer be like yes or no. And then the second question, if I make it past that, is, do you want to be impactful? And that was always a yes. And it's like, nigga, if that's the case, you know, you just do it.
This right here is exactly why people fuck with you, bro. Because beyond the music, you know,
Right.
I feel like you explain content to a level of degree like fucking Dr. Phil. Type shit, bro.
Oh God. On camera, but I don't.
Depends on how you living.
It depends on how you living. You know, it's like we're out here having this talk, regardless. So it's like that's why I'm like, this gonna be great because it's like we already have these talks all the fucking time, and I notice like, bro, people will come up after shows and say something I said on a stroll, not in a song. Some shit I said while we was walking.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Free game.
I walk all the time.
You was gonna say that shit anyway.
I walk all the time. It's like if you, man, I want to get paid to live, so I really be trying to figure out how to ethically and sustainably monetize each asset of my life that I'm willing to share.
Yeah.
And what I'm willing to share changes. Sometimes I don't want to share, and sometimes I'm willing to share everything, you know?
All right, and action.
And we're live from the woods. I'm your host, Mommy B, and today I'm here with none other than Bay Area legend LaRussell. LaRussell, welcome to the show. Okay, first it's the iconic laugh for me. This is actually one of my questions.
Right.
Your laugh is in so many of your songs.
Right.
Tell me, how is this coming to be? Is it just like you're in the studio, you're laughing, and it's like coming out, or?
Yeah. I mean, I can't help when I laugh. When shit funny happen, I gotta laugh.
Okay.
And and sometimes it's not even a laughter of like, it's funny comedically. Sometimes it's like, man, it's funny. I'm this good. You know, like that's how I be feeling after I come out the booth and just be like, nigga.
Right? There's like the side of me that's like, you know, I'm the rapper. I'm from. They call it the V, right?
Yeah.
The V.
Something like that.
You don't call it that?
Yeah. Occasion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it the V. When you said it, it was like,
It's you know?
Nobody I've ever assisted in my life or in my journey could pay me back. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to get that from the universe. The ocean feels the whales.
I want to know about how you found your sound, and did it take you time?
My sound found me through time. Yeah. I think that's the only way it works. I had an iteration of myself that was every artist that I loved at whatever time. I tried to sound like Kendrick. I tried to sound like Chance. I tried to sound like Cole, Drake, Mick Jenkins, Dom Kennedy. I remember all of my phases as an artist just going through. And all those phases made me like get better, and because I could never do what they did, I could only do what I could do. And actually, I think that's what creates your sound when you get to a point where you can only do the things that you could do. Me and my daughter's mom was hanging out one day. We was going somewhere, and we were in the truck, and we were talking about like life, and I'm like, this is my normal life, right? And she was like, this isn't normal. And she was like, normal people don't ride around in big black trucks and have a driver, and it, you know, and it made me think. Like, it made me think a lot. And it made me think like, damn, is everyone's norm different, or is there one norm? And this is unnormal, which is why it's always kind of conflicted. Like, I don't think you could be famous in any regard and not be kind of conflicted with it.
And would you say that there was any advice that you received from one person, or just in general, that changed your mindset to help achieve this journey?
Hovain, before he passed, he sent me a text. He said, it was God's plan. It was my will. Yeah.
And you feel you live that too?
He put what I already felt into like perspective, like a saying. And And sometimes when you don't have that, when you don't have like a thing to represent what you feel, you almost don't fully absorb what you feel.
Are there points in your career where you felt like you had made something, or are there specific songs where you're like, this is it, like this elevated me?
Yeah. In 2019, I started writing a lot of like R&B for the homies and for myself, and I made a lot of songs during that period that just I got to see fans react to that weren't fans of me, but just fans of my art because they didn't know I was behind it yet, you know. And that really opened me up to be able to write anything after that. Like after I wrote those records, I was open to writing a Unconditional and a Gotham and a Slippery Slope. Like it just opened the door, and I was like, oh, I'm not a rapper. I rap, but I'm a writer.
I was almost going to be in one of their commercials.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't pick me.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Sometimes you need those like lessons in life. Like you need those moments too.
Sure do.
You know, grateful for the blessings, grateful for the lessons, grateful for the clarity to see that they connected.
That's right. I love that. Where's AJ at?
Everyone doesn't get humor and creativity and the ability to execute creativity. You feel me? So it's like really lean into those, especially if you're doing something you hate. You know, it's like don't be irrational, but do more of what you love. It's like the thing I was saying earlier, where if you're not going to do social media, then compensate in some form. You know, so it's like you got to find a way to.
And you know, it's funny you say that because I feel like whenever I feel trapped in my life with the job and stuff like that, I do this like red button thing where I'm like, something else needs to work out right now, and I like have like these moments where I'm like, when something bad happens in this sphere where I hate it already, I'm like, fuck, I gotta try this, or I gotta do this, like I gotta do something else, which then is like, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be.
You should have already been leaning into it,
right? You're packing your bags at the last minute,
Yep.
and your flight coming and the truck coming, and now it's like you should have did that.
Yep.
You know, that's all that is.
You ever have people like that you can sense are like around, like trying to get around you for the wrong reason?
Yeah. There's no such thing as the wrong reason. Everyone just has a different reason. Right?
But what about if it's for the need for attention?
I don't think that's a wrong reason. I think certain people need attention. I think certain people thrive and blossom because they receive the proper attention that they just never got. So I don't think a need for attention is negative. I think it's just a need for attention, you know?